So, for the topic of my paper, which is middle age struggles of taking care of children and parents, part of the reason I chose that topic was because I think of my own parents in a way, because they're kind of stuck in that sandwich generation area. And then a lot of it going into my career, I think that my future coworkers are definitely going to be like older, have more experience than me. So I figured they might be stuck in the same situation as well. And so part of the reason I did this is because the career I'm going into is all about helping people. And I figured if I can help others with this topic and give them some, advice for it, it would be, taken for great use. And so going into it, my individual is 45 to 60, 55 years old, just middle aged. And so they're taking care of their parents along with taking care of their own children that they have. And so the main thing about it is that for biological and cognitive, they're under a lot of stress just from taking on the responsibility of taking care of both. And part of the biological thing is that when you're under a lot of stress, you're going to have elevated blood pressure, elevated heart rate, and if that's constant, it's just going to lead to higher risks of having cardiovascular disease from hypertension all the time. And so that's one thing that biologically it's not good for that individual to have. And the stress can just take a toll on a person if it's all the time. And part of the way of relieving stress biologically is having a great social support system along with like asking for advice, asking for help, just anything to lighten the load. And then going into cognitive, it's also can put great stress on the brain mentally. And for that person, they can if they're stressed out all the time, it can lead to other things, sadness, irritability, depression, and that can all stem from taking on the role of having to take care of both. They can lead to unhealthy behaviors, which can then lead to those factors. And that's something you just don't want to run into as a person. Social emotionally, however, I think it's great to be together with your family all the time. Taking care of both, it brings a very, very good family bond to the whole situation. All the family ties, you're linked together, you're passing on your values to your kids. Also, you're helping your parents to catch up with the current world today so they're not stuck back in their own generation. And I think part of that is great because, family and friends, strong social connection, I think it can help out with the other biological and cognitive factors. If you have great friends that help take care of things with you, that could be really helpful. And then part of the Erikson's model or theory of generational versus stagnation, I think it really ties to this situation for people. I think it kind of covers it, but it's kind of unique about it in a way that Erikson has it that the adults take care of their children and they teach the younger generation, but the sandwich generation, they kind of teach their kids, but they're also teaching their parents as well. And so I think that's a great thing that Erikson's theory covers. And I really think it was a great topic to learn about and go into depth on. I really learned a lot about it. So I think it turned out great.